think we first started noticing some behavior changes and really noticing the change in her stature was around 4 years old. So that's when, and her pediatrician was great. He always referred us out, and not that anyone was overlooking things necessarily, because all her tests were coming back normal.
Andrew had just turned 2 years old. It was about 2.5 weeks after his birthday, and we'd just gotten back from the beach. I laid him down to change his diaper, and it was filled with blood. I immediately took him to the pediatrician, and she sent us off to the hospital. I was so naive that when we first went there, I'm driving and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, he has a urinary tract infection, he's got a bladder infection, what could this mean? But my mind never, ever went to cancer. It wasn't on my radar at all. And they took him in for a scan, and he came out, the radiologist came out and talked to Steve, and he told him that they'd found a mass. And I still didn't understand what that meant, and then Steve told me it was cancer.
Neuroblastoma, first of all, it only affects 1 in 100,000 people, so it's very rare. And the survival rates, when we looked them up, were 40%. So we knew we were in for a very long haul.
She would go through times when she was on her steroids, and so much was happening so fast because she had so many complications early on. She was in ICU for 7 weeks. She had to lay flat on her back. They were able to take 1/3 of her tumor during the surgery. And then she came home at first, actually. She came home after that first surgery. She had come out really well. He was very excited. They sent us home, and we were awaiting pathology. Within 6 days, I think she was home. She was just home just in time for Mother's Day. And then she had to be rushed to the hospital because she started vomiting. The fluid in her brain wasn't reabsorbing, so they had to tap her shunt and go through these different testing things. When they did the spinal tap, when they were doing these tests, it just threw her fluids for a whirlwind. And I remember Dr. Lee being called in the middle of the night, because I've never heard her scream like this, and I will never forget that scream. And him looking us in the face and telling us, I have to be honest with you, I don't know if this is gonna work.
The chemotherapy was, to me, the worst part, because it's just when they bring that little drip into the room, that's nothing. That's, uneventful completely. It's the days that follow that they start to get sores through, in their mouth, and he doesn't want to eat anything, and he has no energy at all, and he wants to just lay in bed. And he's 2, he's a little kid. And we were in New York City at this big hospital, and we stayed in the Ronald McDonald House, and we'd go back and forth from the Ronald McDonald House to the hospital, and there was this beautiful playground across the street, and we'd have to walk by and I'd see all these kids playing on the playground, and Andrew he was this skinny, frail little boy that couldn't really do anything. We had to just pick him up and put him in a stroller, bring him back the next day. I remember they would have like the pain scale chart with the happy face, and then, it kind of scales down to a sad face, and he would always, Mama, point at the sad face. He was screaming so loud. I had to walk away. Luckily, Steve, stayed with him, but I could hear him. I just kept walking, and I just walked all the way down to the chapel, because I'm like, I don't know what else to do right now, because this is my baby, and I just want to pick him up and run away.
Camp Good Days gave our family an opportunity to participate in things that we normally wouldn't have been able to. We have a large family. There's 6 of us, four kiddos, and at the time, having 1 income. So being able to engage or participate in things outside of our home were a rarity.
Camp Good Days has definitely helped Andrew, because when he first came home, that child was scared of everything and everybody. He just had gone through a war. So when we came home, he was just in need of some good joy and laughter and fun time, and that's what Camp Good Days provided.
Carolyn's experiences through Camp Good Days has really helped her in taking away some of that fear that she didn't have before all this, because she had always been a very independent girl. So Camp Good Days is reminding her that it's okay to be a kid. It's okay to remember what it's like to laugh from your toes and have a great time. Something that I think she lost in the middle of it all, and she's trying to find her way.
Camp Good Days came into our life at the perfect time for Lauren. That's my favorite part about the camp, is that they include the siblings, because she, as much as we tried to make her feel just as important and just as special as Andrew, it's impossible. It really is. It's because if you focus on a child that has cancer, their siblings sort of get lost in the shuffle somewhat. Other people can step in, but mom and dad are focused on their child that has cancer. It's just the way it works. We're trying to save his life. So once we came back and things started to get a new normal, but as normal as possible, I was so glad that she was included in that and she could be part of Camp Good Days. I think their favorite part about camp is just all the fun. I mean, what's not to love about it? It's just all a bunch of laughs and junk food and games. And
plus they see kids that have been kind of in the same situation, which I
Yeah.
think is very helpful for our family.
Camp Good Days is comprised of amazing individuals that give so selflessly, so tirelessly. They give everything they have to ensure that not only our children, but the families walk away from there changed, lighten their load, just trying to free them from burdens, and do it in a way that we have extended a family that we never knew we could possibly have. Every person we encounter is truly, truly amazing, and we are so thankful for.